Hello and welcome. This is going to be kind of update to my Legends ZA post I did a while back. A few changes I've decided to make based on some information I've since have come across. Like the new Legends game isn't all of Kalos, but just Luminos City. So that changes my opinion on some things and some aspects. Now I know I have everything listed in the not likely chosen section. It's just I didn't want to scroll all the way to the bottom all the time. So, and I put out all the evolutions in here, so that's why. I'm rolling out these. So, um, Rowlet, Oshawott, Cyndaquil will stay in this category. Everything else will be broken up into grass, fire, water sections on the top two tiers. And this is what the changes I think will be made. Um, and I'm going to re-add back in Chessman, Finnegan, and Froakie because it does open up some possibilities. Because we're not going to have the whole region, so there's no telling what was in the city in older times. I'm going to say Froakie for sure. And it's because we've already seen a battle bond created with Ash Greninja. We've seen that. So I feel like that's something they would build on because it was nothing. There was no building upon that really in the games. Yeah, we were gifted one, but that was about it. Another Pokemon I could see get a battle form, really, realistically, would be Rabbit. Rabbit. And it's because of the way it is. But there was something I learned from watching one of the other channels, and I was like, I didn't actually pay attention to it this whole time. I never even noticed it. But these Pokemon starters all have multiple regions they could be from. Because if you look at it, the only Mega Evolutions we got in Generation 6 were from Generation 1 and 3. Not even the starters in Generation 6 had Mega. So it's like, okay, if the Generation 6 starters didn't have Mega Evolution, but Generations 1 and 3, does that mean originally, like, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Charmander were from Kalos, or Trico, Mudkip, or Torchic were from Kalos? Or mix and match, really? I mean, it does raise questions. But then again, most of the Kalos Pokemon that get evolutions, Mega Evolutions, aren't Kalos Pokemon either. But Megas was found in Kalos, so it raises some questions. So, with that being said, and all that, I'm going to lean towards the battle bonding thing. But I also got to take into account that, if they're working on just the city, that rules out some things because, I mean, every city is founded by people moving, changing regions. So, just because it's French inspired now doesn't mean it always was, in my opinion. So, that's why I'm leaning towards Rabbit. The grass Pokemon is the harder one for me to choose because there's some of them have potential, but I honestly think Snivy would be a great option right here. None of those three, interact with each other actually. So therefore, it makes a good option. Option B for this category is a little bit trickier because I honestly could see Chimchar, Sprigatito, hmm, I could see Sobble having some sort of battle bond because of their characteristics and just in the way they evolve. Because, like, for example, um, where was I going with this? My mind just went blank. Oh my gosh, I hate when that happens. Anyways, we'll move on. Now, Pokemon, I think, would be an option. Definitely Piplup. Um, Chespin and Linton would be a good lineup. Now, mind you, these can all be mixed and matched too. That's why I decided to break it down this way. And then another three op choices would be. Hmm, I really want to get Puplio in there. But Totodile. Hmm, possibly Finnegan. Maybe Chikorita. That's where I'm going to lean now on this situation because with the changes that are being announced, it changes some of the aspects of my original lineup. Um, it makes it hard because I'm, like I said, a big fan of Chimchar, but I honestly, I don't think you get one either. That's why I'm leaning towards Rabbit. Um, these six right here, though, I'm rolling out all together. They're not going to be if they're there, they're catchable. They're not going to be your starters, and these three ain't going to be there at all. Honestly, I'm just going to go ahead and move them down here. As much as I would like to see Rowlet again, they're not going to be there. Um, yeah, we'll go with that. These Pokemon right here, there's possibilities. Do I think Pikachu or Eevee will be an option? No, not at all. Am I going to put them down here with these guys? These are just the evolutions. This is all this is. That's nothing really. All the second, third, and Mega, Dynamax, Z Crystal, whatever crap. But come to remember, Pikachu and Eevee don't have Megas either. Totodile, Turtwig, Tepig, Hiroki, this thing, Waxley. I can't pronounce the. Is it Fuecoco? Fuecoco? It's a cool Pokemon. I like it a lot. I can't pronounce it. Um, they have potential to make an appearance, but I'm not gonna make them my put them in my choices. Um, Honestly, yeah. This I think this is what I think will be the options going forward, and that's why I'm putting them this way because you really mix and match here between these two groups as long as you don't have two from the same region. Um, and it's a possibility. I mean, Chikorita, I think, is the least likely grass. Papio, I think, is the least likely water. And Litten is the least likely fire, I think. So, but I just wanted to kind of share my thought process on it. I do like the idea of them doing just Luminos City because it is a walled off city. And, in olden times, there could have been a giant forest in one part of the city that was walled in. So we could still have aspects of a forest here and desert and, that stuff. The city wasn't huge its entire existence. But is this before Mega is discovered? Because Mega was discovered in Kalos. There's an entire story there. But most of the Mega evolutions, are Generation 1, some Generation 2, couple threes. Very few fours, but that's it. And then when they came out with Ruby and Sapphire's enhanced game remake, they added more megas, but nothing past Generation 5 this time because we got Autognome, got a mega, and so did Beyonce. But that's it. None of the mega evolutions are from Generation 6, I believe, except for Beyonce. Let me go check. Rock Fairy. It was introduced in X and Y, but it's a jewel Pokemon considered a legendary or mythical, actually. But it's the only one of Generation 6 new Pokemon introduced in Generation 6 that has a Mega Evolution. None of the new Pokemon introduced in Generation 6 has a Mega Evolution, including the starters. So it makes you wonder a little bit, We got all those new Pokemon in 6, but we didn't get no Mega Evolutions for any of the 6 Pokemon. The Generation 6. We got Generation 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we got Autonon in Generation 5 and Beyonce in Generation 6 when Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire came out. Because truly, if Mega was not a concept that they wouldn't, if it was something they wouldn't do, if it wasn't a category that they were excluding Pokemon from, Torchic and Trico definitely would be back up here. Actually, they would be. Torchic would be right here where Raboot is, and Trico would be right here where Sprigatito is. Sprigatito. Yeah. So the Generation One Pokemon, no, I don't. I honestly don't think they're going to be in any aspects of anything. Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Charmander, I think, have run their time and are patient. Um, and we're at a point of being tired of seeing them, as we are with these two. I mean, in my opinion, there's people who are hardcore Charmander fans and will go to all links to make sure that that Pokemon is their starter in their playthroughs, and that is good for them, and that is not me. Um, I mean, Cyndaquil was my one of my favorite starter Pokemon for a while. Got beat out by Chimchar for me. I like Chimchar. Um, Trico was my favorite grass. Got overtaken by Rowlet. Um, my favorite water Pokemon is Froakie, but it's kind of bounced around between like Totodile, Oshawott, Mudkip, yeah, kind of around there. Squirtle. I did like Squirtle, but definitely Froakie. I mean, and I don't dislike the others. I mean, I dislike Grookey, and I dislike Chespin, and I dislike Turtwig and Tepig and Pupio. But the other starters I actually like, and Charmander. I really despise Charmander. But the other starters I actually do enjoy, and I will use them on playthroughs, except for Charmander. I will never use Charmander. I box it. Yes, I boxed in Generation 8 when it was gifted to you. It went into the box. It stayed there. And then, like, Generation 6, when you get to pick that second Pokemon, it's never this one. I usually choose Bulbasaur because it's the, strong version of Froakie. And you get a fire Pokemon or pretty early on in the forest, so elemental monkeys, so there's no problem there. Anyways, I think that would be the lineup. Now, Megas turns out to be a category that's not being considered as a rule out. I will definitely probably remake this and put Trico and Torchic up here where they need to be. Because I could see those two. I would like to say Mudkip as well, but the odds of Mud. I mean, I'll put him here, but definitely could see these two. And I mean, their battle bonds have potential. So leave a comment, subscribe. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed thus far. Please leave a comment on your thoughts on this. Um, Definitely like. Um, And I'll see you next time. I'm sorry I wasn't very talkative this time. It's just considering all options, but trying to be open to what could possibly still come about. I mean, we got a year. So videos like these are going to change quite a bit as the year goes on. So um, I will try to update mine as information comes out, so that way kind of stay relevant with it. But other than that, thank you for watching. Um, Definitely subscribe. I do appreciate everyone who has subscribed thus far. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And for those of you who haven't, please do. Really would like to build this channel up into something awesome, um, with more content, and go from there. So just want to say thank you to everyone, and have a wonderful afternoon or morning, depends on where you're at, I guess. So later, guys.